Hey everybody, welcome to a live broadcast from the training room. Like the title says, this is a mock-up of the future layout that I've been working on this past 30, 45 minutes. This is actually what I used to have at the other layout when it was in the other room, and this is a prototypical spot and drop of where I used to work at, which was called 4Rail. And this is what I call one of the switching challenges of all switching challenges, because there's only one way in and there's only one way out. So it involves paying attention to every little thing over here, because this engine is shoving the train in, and the train is going to do a shove and drag out because it has to do that back there. If you have any time, go back and look at some video when I had the video train room in the big bedroom, and you will see what I'm talking about. The chemical plant. The chemical plant is going to be sort of like a backdrop, but it's not actually on the wall, because it's in fact both mains will be going behind the building. That will be the main for the closet branch and the main for the chemical plant, because the chemical plant is going to go all the way around on the outside. So it makes it a little bit more easier to get around. Like I said, this whole side of the layout is particularly for the plant. Like I said, this is a mock-up of the plant. As you can see, right behind there is the re-railers for the track that's on behind there. So this is going to be totally different from what I'm used to doing, because I never used a building as a backdrop with the tracks behind it. It's totally different. Actually, this will be a first, because I will not be able to touch the rail cars back there. If anything happened, that's the reason why I put all the re-railers back there, so that all of the cars will stay on track. And like I said, there'll be two mains going all the way around parallel. One will be the closet branch and one will be the main for the plant. I decided not to do two mains. If I do, it'll be a main that goes right along here and goes around. This is 4Rail. Then there will be two more spot and drops that'll be up close to the plant, and those will be the receiving platforms for the plant. Here's one right here, and where is the other one? Over here. Ouch! Stuff on the floor. Ow, ow, ow. So there will be a track up along the building here and here. And there will be a road. Well, I got to put that road in. There will be a road going along here all the way down to the trailer, tractor trailer port doors. And so this 4Rail, I need, that's 2Rail. And 3Rail, and 3Rail would be right here somewhat, if I can find the other platforms. There you are. Here's the other two. This will be an unloading platform. So there will be another track somewhere here and somewhere here. All the tankers and all this shipping and receiving tankers will say they'll be underground going into the platforms here. And there will be a track here, track here. So there's 4, 3, 2. So we won't have one. We'll only have 3 tracks going to this whole chemical plant. I might put one on the other end coming from the back side of the plant, but I haven't gotten that far yet. But the idea is, like I told y'all, I got tired of the middle table bumping and stubbing my toes and knocking everything down when I hit it. Sometimes y'all probably didn't see it or hear it, but I felt it. and it hurt. The Mariani. The Mariani will not be a part of the chemical plant because it's going in the closet. It's going to go right in the back, just like it was in the closet branch, the original phase with the BS buildings. What's going to go over there is the dead end. The dead end is going to be where the engine house is. The engine house, which is up in the closet, is going to go in down there in the corner. So instead of having black rock over here in the corner, that's where the engine house is, and that's where I'm going to have all the engines staged at. There'll be a 2-track coming in from up there somewhere up that curve. Instead of having a curve switch, I'm going to put a straight in switch. And what's going to happen is it's just going to be the siding as before, but I'm going to split it just like the old one. Is going to be a shipping inbound and outbound. The inbound will be on this end close to the engine house. The outbound will be put up there on the other end off the split in the pocket. Jackson Chemicals, I'm sorry, is still going to be there. The Mariani will go right in there. The engine house would go over there. The VBS structures, I want them part of this chemical plant, and I need them to be part of this chemical plant. And if that's the case, I will have to do some rearranging somewhere, somehow, to put them somewhere either up there, or I'll take the platforms out and add them in somewhere, because of the simple fact, this is going to be part of the phase where I start adding the hoppers. Sooner or later, the hoppers will be on here. I don't know how or where, but this chemical plant probably expand all the way around somewhere up here in front, behind the yard, because the yard is going to extend all the way the rest of the layout. As you can see, Navco is still up there on the closet branch. BlackRock takes the crest line, and Jackson Chemicals will be there, and then the dead end will be the engine house. Crestline will not be on the plant on this because it's, in fact, I don't have the space for it. I could put it on here, but I want the engine house on here to put the engines in, because of the simple fact I now have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 GEVOs. Where's my other engine? Oh, there it is. It's down there. Actually, I got 6. Whenever Toy Man wants to do that switch. Let's see. The yard. And the most important part of the layout that I told you about the other day. I'm sorry I'm not being able to look at the comments real yet. I got this in my hand. So here's the part of the layout that is so important that I was telling y'all about. So I'm going to explain this to you, okay? All right. Because, like I said, it's going to be a very important part of the layout. This is where we do the pocket runaround, the small pocket. Reason why we call it the small pocket runaround, because we was only allowed to put like 4 cars in this pocket. That's why we call it the small pocket. The large pocket is anything over 4 cars or 3 cars or 2 cars. What happens here is we're going to do the runaround. We got to do the runaround to go into 4-rail. So somewhere over here, there is going to be a small pocket runaround for 2 cars, maybe 3. And what's going to happen is we're going to be in a shoving motion. We're going to shove the cars that's supposed to go into the backside 4-rail. This is what we call the backside. Anything that's in the reverse position of the shove in a spot and drop, we call it the backside. This is considered the best backside. The front side is everything that's going in the front shove motion. The back side is everything that's on the back of the engine that we have to do that'll be in a drag, but once we come in and clear the switch, we have to shove it in. So we call it the backside. All right. Anyway, so that is very important, that switch there. The other switch, which will go in the other 2 platforms, will come off this switch here. So not only will we able to do when we pull the train cars, we'll pull them up here and do the switching because we won't be able to do it down there. Because everything here, we're going to take a switch from here and shove everything down to spot. And then once we drop and spot the cars, once we pick up the cars, pull the brakes, pull the chocks and everything, we bring the cars up, set them out to the main, grab the other cars, and shove them in. Same scenario on the when we had it on the middle table. It's the same move. Once we do that side, we do this side. We'll take these cars, we'll drag them out, we'll set them out, bring the other cars, and we'll roll them in. Plain and simple. 4-rail is a total different story. Once we get done with this 4 cars here, shoving and driving 8 cars, switching out 8 cars, we take those cars to a yard for outbound. Once we do that, we go pick up the cars that goes to 4-rail, which will be on the other side of the yard. We'll take those, we'll bring those here. We will already know which cars are for the backside. It will always block the cars for the backside on the very end. So when we drag up, actually, hold on. No, actually, they'll be right off the engine. They'll be the 3 cars off the engine because when we drag up, we're going to drag the cars into, drag them up on the main, make the cut, shove the cars for the backside in, come out, shove the train backwards, then come in forward, pick up the cars, and then shove in to the backside. I know that sounds confusing and everything, but I guarantee you, when you see what I'm talking about, you'll understand. Now, on the last layout, when I had it in the big room, I wasn't able to actually do that move the way I wanted to, just for the simple fact I was lost for space and trying to do the runaround. And every time I tried to do that runaround with them old tank cars, shit happens. So what's going to happen now is going to be a little bit more simple, a little bit more easier to do it when I put this section in. Now, the pocket track was also the scale. We always did the runaround on the scale. So the pocket track, when we came out, we was already putting everything on the scale. We was weighing the cars. So I gotta write that in. Where's my marker? Oh, I keep peeing on something. Something, baby. I need something. So I gotta write in small pocket is scale track. So the scale track was our small pocket. Every time we ran the cars in, we would put them on the scale. And once we got done with all the cars on the scale, we'll drag them up, take them to the outbound track. So the scale track was the pocket track, and it did something like this. And this is the main. And then it'll come out, go into the pocket. This is what you call the pocket. This is the scale right here. The scale was long enough to hold at least 1.5 cars, almost 1.5 cars. Now, actually, it was 1 car because it was a 50-foot. It was a 55-foot scale. So it was able to hold 1 car, and it come out like this. And then once it comes out, it went right into 4-rail, just like that. So it was a switch up here. And we always line the switch to the main. You never line the switch from the scale to 4-rail. We always line the switch to the main. So that's how that was. So this was the scale. So once we got done switching out 4-rail, we would line the switch. Here's the thing. We would line the switch for the main, drop the 3 cars or 3 cars in the outside on the main. then drag, shove back, come around those cars, come around the cars, shove back, pick up the cars, and then put the cars on the scale. And that was 14, was it 14? It was 14 total cars. We scaled 14 cars. So we got 14 cars coming out of there. Right now, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're only going to do 7 cars. We're not going to do the full 14 cars because that's just too many cars to try to get in there. That's the reason why I put those there. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 cars total coming from the plant. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. We've got this. So there's 2 cars. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 cars coming out of the plant. Just as before, we had, 10 cars? Now we got 13 coming out of the plant. All those cars will come around here. As before, we'll set them in the yard on the outbound track to be headed out for the closet branch. We'll classify the cars, build the train, and then take them on to the closet branch. And we'll do all that over here in this section and probably up there. So that is that. This is the new version of the chemical plant without the middle table, and everything is going to be on one side. Like I said, the Mariani will not be over there. The engine house will be in the corner. Jackson is still in the same spot. BlackRock is now over here, and NAPCO is over there. So that's about it. So that pretty much concludes the update. I still got a lot of work to do. I still need to clean and get everything prepared for how I want this. But as of now, this is how the chemical plant is going to be. As you can see, there is a lot of space in here, but that's for the tractor trailers. My plan is to get more tractor trailers and line it and build a lot for the tractor trailers to be held in that, so they can go into the one end is shipping, one end is receiving. So hopefully I can get all that situated. But there's still a lot of open space in here. So I'm still trying to figure out if I can get the VBS buildings in here. And if I can, yay. If I do, I will have to get at least one of them. More like I'm going to be able to get one of them. And what that will involve is taking the storage containers and the whole plant and moving it down at least another foot or two. It just depends on how I'm gonna get that radius in with the engine house. If I can get that radius in with the engine house, then I can be able to move the chemical plant down and then put the VBS structures on here. And those will be pretty much, that's gonna be massive. So this plant is already a little bit bigger than what it was on the table, just for the simple fact I can add more to it. I still have a refinery still in there that I haven't put on here. So it could get bigger if I want it to get bigger, but hell no, that's just too big. It'll take up too much space. Plus I want to get those VBS buildings on here. So this is it. This is the mock-up for 4-rail, 4-rail, 3-rail, and 2-rail. And I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to put in here. Hopefully the VBS buildings. So this is pretty much conclude the live update. I want to thank you all for watching. I am sorry I didn't get to watch read any comments because I'm too far away and I don't have my phone, and I thought I had it with me, but somehow that some gun disappeared. So, did I miss out anything? Did I forget anything? Did I forget anything? No, I don't think so. Don't think so. Anyway, let me get back to mocking up. If something else come up, I will do another update. But right now, I think this is pretty much going to do it for the update. So thank you all for watching. And y'all be safe. Isolation is key. And I'll see y'all later. Y'all take care. Bye.